Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. This is episode 49 of the Let the Women Tell It series. And this one is about the idiotic narrative of the 50-50 relationship and how it's another nail in the coffin of the Black community's marriages. It's been hijacked by people on the internet to mean that if a woman has to contribute to the family almost in any way, then the man is not doing his job. And it has a connotation that a man should pay all the bills and pay for the upkeep of the home, and a woman doesn't have to contribute anything. And if she has to, that means you're less of a man and you garner less respect from your wife. That's what it means. And it's been hijacked by a lot of hyenas and women who have no intention on being wives to men or have husbands in their lives. The truth of the matter is, Black men and Black women have both worked to sustain their families for over 50, for all, for as far as I can remember. I know my mother worked until she got sick, and this was in the 50s. And all my aunts worked that were married. They worked in jobs where they didn't need husbands. They had pensions when they retired, but they had loving families to have legacy and everything. So it wasn't a 50-50 relationship. Both parties had to do whatever it could to keep their marriage moving forward, the plans they made to succeed. And it wasn't considered 50-50. It was you contribute whatever you can to make the plan work. And that went for both men and that went for women. But somehow now with the feminists and the anti-male rhetoric that's prevalent in these spaces, it turns out that 50-50 means a man is not doing his job and a woman is required to do more than she should for a relationship to move forward. And it's a lie. So I'm going to let a couple of women tell you what they think about it. And before we do that, and it's a real short clip, I want you to like, share, subscribe to my channel. And I'll probably, maybe one day even do a regular video on this or have a longer panel discussion on the Black Man Unfiltered Network. And, because I like that little show I do on Mondays. So it won't be this Monday. This Monday I have another show, collaboration going on at 7 o'clock. So here goes. And listen, it's a real short clip, but it's two ladies who, unfortunately, are dressed up like most women and with the wigs and the eyelashes and all that. But you got to look through that, look past that, and see what they have to say, because it was refreshing to hear a couple of ladies who don't look the part, but actually said something that was worth listening to. And only if we can get them to take off those damn wigs and those stupid ass eyelashes and less makeup, that would be really, really nice. But hey, listen, I can't, that's not my purview, but I just thought I'd say that. So don't judge them by how they look and what they look like. Just listen to the words, because I do agree with these two young ladies who understand that, the way people are talking about 50-50 is idiotic and can never work. So here it goes. We're going to go right now.
Don't feel like it's a good vibe. It's this 50-50 conversation that I see you guys talking about every day on social media. It's like every time I go to social media, I see Black people in the comments arguing about 50-50. What are your thoughts on the 50-50 conversation?
To each his own. It's just redundant to keep talking about it. Your grandmother didn't have to pay 50% of anything, but we're living in a time where, baby, you gotta have a bag to buy a popsicle.
It makes more sense to have two incomes. Like, I don't want my man to be no slave. I want you to enjoy your life. I don't want you to feel like you're working just to provide for me. And that's why I say, if you're just a bill and the man just has to pay for everything, I feel like he looks at you more so as a liability and not an asset. Like, I'm so tired of seeing black men and black women having a 50-50 conversation. I never see any other race of people talk about what is going to be the roles.
In our culture, we are in a real fight called the Battle of the Sexes.
Black women, black men. Let's stop these 50-50 conversations. What works for you works for
In
you.
the public eye.
In the public
We
eye.
look
So dusty.
We look like Section 8. Like
It's working. It's like we the perfect puppets. And the puppet master is just smiling 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365, because he has us all delusion. It's crazy.
And the truth of the matter is that, you know, the puppet masters got us fighting each other over shit that we should understand that black men and black women, we're in this together, but it's over. I mean, I don't think there's a large scale reconciliation that could ever happen. Not on that large scale, but individually, yes. If you're a man and you're looking for a woman to be your wife and you want to have traditional roles, there's women out there who will listen, just like there's men out there who are looking, but you just have to look harder because you're not going to find them in the regular spaces. Don't go to Instagram. Don't go to the club. You're not going to find the lady that you want to fit into this mold in these spaces where social media is prevalent, where, you know, partying is prevalent, twerking, hookup culture, all that stuff. You know, you might find a hookup, but you ain't going to find a wife. And I like what the lady said at the end. You know, it's nice to see the women understand, a couple of ladies understand that there's puppet masters making a lot of this stuff happen, mostly for commercialism, but they also understand that if they can keep the black community separated men from the women, it's easier to conquer us. And even if it's just psychological, or if it's to outbreed the smart blacks, or whatever it is, it's working and it's on autopilot. And you know what? I don't think there's any way back, because if you look at the Gen Zers, you know, and you can look at the potential marriage rate, it's pretty much not there. They ain't falling in love like that. They ain't looking for relationships that way. They just talk about hookup cultures, both men and women, and they're blowing their 20s. And by the time they're in their 30s, both are so rigid that they can't even really form great bonds. Okay. So anyway, one is traumatized. One is, you know, maybe hypnotized by the freedom. And I don't know, it's really bleak out there. So I don't know how to fix it. All I know is if you do happen to find a person that you want to have a relationship with, your relationship is not going to be the same as the next guy's, but you got to negotiate the finances. You got to have at least one central pot to pay bills and to invest from and all this other stuff. And there has to be a conversation before you get married, probably before you even get engaged for the most part. There's got to be one of those discriminators that says, you know what, your fiscal aptitude is not up to par for my life, and I'm not going to be trying to fix that within a marriage, so I'm not going to ask you to marry. Or if a woman can see a guy don't got no money, he's in debt, and he doesn't have no fiscal responsibility, you got to say no. You got to say no, because once you say I do, and once y'all get married, especially for a man, let me tell you, once you bring that woman into your fold by asking her to marry you, and she says yes, she owns you for a certain amount. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you have a baby, especially if you're coming in with assets and she doesn't have any, man, you know what? Depending on the state you are, 50% of all the shit you own belongs to her as soon as she said I do. Anyway, my pain, marriage, politics, and sports. Over and out.